Zara of the Stellari people had never understood the fascination with humans. The tall blue-skinned woman stood at the edge of the diplomatic gathering, her four eyes scanning the room with mild disinterest. Her species had made contact with Earth just 3 months ago, and this was the first official meeting between their races on neutral ground station. Epsilon Zara adjusted her ceremonial robes, feeling the silky material brush against her ridged skin. The Stellari were considered among the most beautiful species in the known galaxy, with their shimmering blue skin and graceful movements. They were also known for their emotional control and logical thinking. That control was about to be tested. Across the room, a human woman named Lily entered wearing the simple uniform of the Earth Space Command. Her brown hair was pulled back in a neat bun, and she moved with confidence through the crowd of various alien species. Something about her caught Zara's attention immediately. It was not that Lily was physically impressive compared to Stellari standards. Humans were shorter, softer, and far less colorful, yet Zara could not look away. The human moved with a strange grace that seemed both vulnerable and powerful at once. Zara felt her secondary heart begin to beat faster. Her four eyes blinked in rapid succession as her body temperature rose unexpectedly. A feeling she had never experienced before washed over her like a wave of heat. The Stellari ambassador noticed her reaction and moved closer. "Ambassador Krell, is everything all right?" "You seem flushed," Zara tried to speak but found her voice strangely husky. "Who is that human?" "The human representative from their northern continent. Lily Morgan. I believe she is their xenobiology expert." Zara nodded, barely hearing the words. Her entire focus remained on Lily, who was now talking animatedly with a representative from the Vorgon Confederation. The human smiled, and Zara felt her knees weaken slightly. The sensation was entirely new and somewhat alarming. Among the Stellari, mating was a logical process based on genetic compatibility and social standing. Attraction was acknowledged, but secondary to practical concerns. Yet what Zara felt now was anything but logical. It was primal, overwhelming, and undeniable. "I need to speak with her," Zara whispered. The ambassador looked concerned. "That would be a regular protocol." Dictates that Zara was already moving before the ambassador could finish. Nearly 2 meters tall, she towered over most of the humans in the room. Her normally graceful movements were slightly jerky as she navigated through the crowd, her four eyes never leaving Lily. When she reached the human, Lily looked up with obvious surprise. "Hello," she said with a warm smile. "I'm Lily Morgan, Earth Sciences Division. Zara of House Talari." Fourth-rank geneticist, Zara managed to say. The words felt clumsy in her mouth, something that had never happened before. She was known among her people for her eloquence. The human seemed unbothered by her awkwardness. "Your skin coloration is beautiful. Is that natural or cultural?" Zara felt her skin flush darker blue at the compliment. Natural, though the patterns change with emotion and status. Fascinating. Lily said, "How long have your people been spacefaring?" Zara tried to focus on the question but found herself distracted by the human's eyes. They were green with small flecks of gold, something no Stellari possessed. The effect was mesmerizing. 8 centuries, she replied. Her secondary heart was beating so loudly she wondered if the human could hear it. "We achieved warp capability during what would be your 14th century, Earth time." Lily nodded, looking genuinely interested. "Would you like to get a drink?" The diplomatic protocols can be a bit stiff sometimes. I'm still getting used to them. Yes, Zara said, perhaps too quickly. She had studied humans extensively as part of her preparation for this mission, but nothing had prepared her for this reaction. Her species had evolved past many primal urges, yet here she was practically trembling with unfamiliar desire. They moved to a quieter area of the reception hall. Lily asked questions about Stellari culture, and Zara found herself sharing more than was diplomatically advisable. The human was easy to talk to, curious and respectful in ways that surprised her. Throughout their conversation, Zara could feel something building within her. It was as if her body was awakening to new sensations with each moment spent in Lily's presence on her homeworld. Such feelings would be suppressed, analyzed, and controlled, but they were far from Stellaris' rigid social structure. When Lily briefly touched her arm while making a point about human diversity, Zara nearly gasped, aloud. The contact sent what felt like electrical currents through her body. Her pheromone glands activated involuntarily, releasing scents that any Stellari would recognize as intense attraction. "Would you like to continue this conversation somewhere?" Less crowded, Zara heard herself ask. It was forward beyond all proper protocol, but she couldn't help herself. Lily looked surprised but pleased. "I'd like that. Maybe you could tell me more about your genetic research." "It sounds fascinating." They left the reception together, ignoring the disapproving look from the Stellari ambassador. Zara knew she would face consequences for abandoning her diplomatic duties. But in this moment, she didn't care. The station had observation lounges designed for private conversations. As they entered one with views of the distant stars, Zara realized she was experiencing something her people had nearly evolved beyond raw, unfiltered attraction. Lily stood close to the viewing window, the starlight illuminating her face. "What does your research focus on?" Zara moved closer, unable to maintain proper distance, evolutionary adaptations for space travel. "But right now, I'm experiencing something unusual." "What do you mean?" Lily asked. Turning to face her, Stellari rarely experienced spontaneous attraction. Zara explained, "Our mating is typically arranged based on genetic compatibility. But I find myself," she paused, searching for the right words, "having a strong physiological response to you." Lily blushed, the pink coloration spreading across her cheeks. "Is that your way of saying you find me attractive?" "Yes," Zara admitted. "It is unexpected and somewhat alarming." The human smiled. "I think that's a compliment. Where I'm from, we call that chemistry. And if we're being honest, I find you quite fascinating too." The days following their first meeting passed in a blur for Zara. She found herself making excuses to attend every human delegation meeting, just for glimpses of Lily. The Stellari High Command was growing suspicious of her sudden interest in diplomatic affairs, but Zara hardly cared. Her mind constantly replayed their conversation in the observation lounge. Their meeting had ended with an agreement to see each other again, supposedly to discuss cultural exchange. But both knew there was more beneath the surface. Lily had suggested they meet at the station botanical garden, a neutral space where different species could experience plants from various worlds. It was there that Zara waited, her tall blue form standing out among the greenery. When Lily arrived wearing casual human clothing instead of her uniform, Zara felt that now familiar wave of heat wash over her. The human looked different somehow. More relaxed, her brown hair loose around her shoulders. "You came," Zara said, her voice betraying more emotion than any Stellari would normally show, of course. Lily smiled. "I spent all morning reading about Stellari physiology. I hope that's not too forward." Zara felt her skin patterns shift in pleasure. "No, that is appropriate given your scientific background." They walked among exotic plants from a dozen worlds, occasionally brushing against each other. The contact, even through clothing, sent shivers through Zara's nervous system. Each touch seemed to intensify her reaction to the human. "I have a confession," Lily said as they paused beside a flowering tree from Proxima Centauri. "I've requested to be the primary liaison with the Stellari delegation." Zara blinked, all four eyes in surprise. "That would mean we would be working together?" "Yes," Lily finished for her. "Is that acceptable to you?" "More than acceptable," Zara admitted. "Something about you affects me in ways I cannot explain. It defies all Stellari logic." Lily stepped closer. "It's not just logic, though, is it?" "No," Zara whispered. "It is something more primal. Something my species claims to have evolved beyond. But I feel it strongly when I'm near you." The human reached up, touching Zara's face gently. Her fingers traced the ridged patterns on the alien's blue skin. "We humans haven't tried to evolve beyond our feelings. In fact, we celebrate them." The touch was electric. Zara felt her control slipping, her carefully maintained Stellari composure cracking under the simple contact. She leaned into the touch, her height requiring her to bend down toward the much shorter human. "This is dangerous," Zara whispered. "My people will not understand, mine might not either," Lily admitted, "but am willing to find out where this leads." Their moment was interrupted by a sharp-voiced geneticist. Zara straightened, immediately recognizing Ambassador Krell approaching with 2 Stellari guards. The ambassador's skin patterns displayed clear disapproval. "You are required at the delegation meeting. Your absence has been noted. I was engaged in cultural research," Zara said quickly. The ambassador looked between her and the human. "Is this the human from the reception? Your skin patterns suggest inappropriate emotional engagement." Lily stepped forward. "I requested this meeting as Earth's xenobiology specialist." The ambassador ignored her, addressing only Zara. "You will return to the delegation immediately. The council has questions about your recent behavior." Zara knew she had no choice. To refuse would mean immediate disgrace. With one last look at Lily, she nodded to the ambassador. "I will comply," as she was led away. Zara heard Lily call after her, "I'll find you later." The Stellari delegation quarters were cold and sterile. Compared to the lush gardens, Zara stood before 3 senior members of her species. Their blue skin darker with age and status. "Your biological readings show significant anomalies," said the eldest. Her name was Vela, and she had been a geneticist before becoming a diplomat. "Your hormonal levels are consistent with mating impulses. I can explain," Zara began. "There is nothing to explain," Vela interrupted. "We have reviewed your medical scans. You are experiencing primitive attraction to the human female. This is unprecedented and concerning," Ambassador Krell added. "We have consulted with the Science Ministry on Stellaris. The consensus is that you are experiencing an evolutionary regression, a dangerous throwback to our pre-enlightened state." "That is not true," Zara protested. "These feelings may be unexpected, but they are not a regression. They are simply different." The third counselor leaned forward. "Human emotions are primitive and uncontrolled. They live short, chaotic lives driven by impulse. You are a 4th-rank geneticist. You know what is happening to you is biologically inappropriate." Zara felt anger rising within her, another emotion Stellari rarely expressed. "Who are you to define what is appropriate? I am experiencing something new. Something that might have scientific value." Vela looked at her with cold eyes. "Your defense of this condition proves how compromised you have become. We are removing you from the diplomatic mission. You will return to Stellaris immediately for treatment." "Treatment," Zara echoed. "You speak as if I have an illness, Ambassador." Krell stood. "Their decision is final. A transport leaves tomorrow. You will be on it. Until then, you are confined to quarters." After they left, Zara paced her room, rage and frustration building. Her species prided themselves on emotional control, on rational thought. But there was nothing rational about forcing her to leave simply because she experienced attraction to someone of another species. Her communication panel chimed. It was a message from an unknown source. "Meet me at Maintenance Corridor B7. Midnight." Zara stared at the message, her heart rates increasing. She knew she should ignore it following the council's orders, but the thought of seeing Lily again overrode all Stellari conditioning. When midnight came, Zara used her security clearance to exit her quarters. The halls were mostly empty at this hour. The few aliens she passed paid little attention to. Her corridor B7 was dimly lit and tucked away in a rarely used section of the station. Lily was waiting, looking worried but determined. "I heard they confined you," she said immediately. "What happened?" Zara explained quickly about the council's decision and her impending departure. "They can't do that," Lily protested. "It's discriminatory. You haven't broken any station regulations. It is their right." Zara said, "They believe I am experiencing an evolutionary regression, a throwback to our primitive state." Lily stepped closer. "That so-called primitive state is what makes life worth living. Emotions, connection, desire, these aren't flaws. They're gifts." As she spoke, Lily reached for Zara's hand, intertwining her 5 fingers with Zara's 7. The contact was overwhelming, sending waves of pleasure through Zara's nervous system. "I can't let them take you," Lily whispered. "Not now that I've found you." Zara looked down at their joined hands. I've never defied my people before, she admitted. But I cannot deny what I feel when I'm with you. It challenges everything I was taught to believe. The morning of Zara's scheduled departure arrived with a tension that hung in the recycled air of Station Epsilon. She had not slept, spending the night considering her options. None seemed promising. Defying the Stellari Council meant exile from her homeworld, possibly permanent. Complying meant never seeing Lily again and undergoing treatments designed to suppress the very feelings that now defined her existence. A chime at her door interrupted her thoughts. A junior Stellari diplomat stood. Outside, your transport leaves in 2 hours. Ambassador Krell requests your presence for final instructions. Zara nodded, following the young diplomat through the station corridors. Her mind raced with thoughts of escape, but Stellari were not impulsive. Creatures' planning was essential, yet no plan seemed viable. Ambassador Krell waited in his private chambers, his 4 eyes studying her with clinical detachment. You have caused considerable disruption to our mission. Geneticist, I apologize for any inconvenience. Zara said the words hollow even to her own ears. The ambassador gestured to a chair. You understand the seriousness of your condition. This human has triggered a biological response that threatens centuries of Stellari evolution. Zara remained standing. I disagree. My response may be unexpected, but it is not threatening. It may represent a new understanding of interspecies relations. Krell made a dismissive gesture. Your scientific credentials are being reviewed. The council believes your judgment is compromised. As Krell continued outlining the consequences of her actions, Zara's communication device vibrated subtly against her skin. A message from Lily. Meet me at docking bay 12 in 1 hour. Bring nothing. Trust me. Zara maintained her composed expression while her hearts raced. She needed to end this meeting quickly. Ambassador, I accept the council's decision, she said, interrupting Krell mid-sentence. I require time to prepare my research notes for transfer. Krell seemed surprised by her sudden compliance. Very well. You have 1 hour before escort arrives. Zara returned to her quarters, gathering only her personal research device. She uploaded her genetic research, encrypted it, and sent a copy to her private account. This work was hers regardless of the council's opinion. Moving through the station without attracting attention was difficult. The blue-skinned Stellari stood out among the various species, especially with her height. Nearly 2 meters tall, she towered over most others. Yet she managed to reach docking bay 12 without being stopped. The bay was small, used primarily for maintenance shuttles. Lily waited inside wearing her Earth Command uniform. Her face brightened when she saw Zara. You came. She said, relief evident in her voice. I had no choice. Zara admitted. You have become essential to me in ways I cannot explain. Lily took her hand. We don't have much time. Earth has granted you emergency asylum on humanitarian grounds. Asylum. Zara echoed the concept, foreign to her. Stellari rarely defected from their people. Captain Samantha Reyes is sympathetic to our situation. Lily explained. She has authorized your transfer to Earth for scientific exchange. The paperwork is already filed. This is illegal, Zara said. Her Stellari upbringing made deception difficult to accept. The council will protest. Lily squeezed her hand. It's not illegal. It's a loophole. I'm listed as your scientific liaison, and you've been invited to participate in a cultural exchange program. The sound of a door opening interrupted them. Captain Reyes entered, a tall human with dark skin and a stern expression. This is your Stellari scientist, Morgan. Captain Reyes asked, looking Zara up and down. Yes. Captain Lily said. This is geneticist Zara. 4th rank. Reyes addressed Zara directly. You understand what this means. You will be claiming asylum against the wishes of your government. Understand, Zara said. The words felt monumental. A complete break from everything she had known. The captain nodded. The shuttle leaves in 10 minutes. Make your goodbyes quick. When they were alone again, Lily stepped closer. Are you sure about this? There may be no going back. Zara touched the human's face gently. I have analyzed all possibilities. The thought of never seeing you again is unacceptable, even if it means losing everything else. Their moment was interrupted by an alarm blaring through the station. Security alert in Section 12. All personnel report. They know, Lily said, grabbing Zara's hand. We need to go now. They rushed to the small shuttle already prepped for departure. The human pilot looked nervous as they boarded. We're cutting this close. The Stellari delegation has filed a formal protest. Just get us to the Artemis, Lily ordered. Buckling into her seat, Zara sat beside her, feeling the shuttle rumble to life. The viewport showed station security approaching. The lead officer was Stellari, his skin patterns showing anger and disgust as he spotted Zara. The shuttle detached before security could reach them. Zara watched as Station Epsilon grew smaller, the only home she had known in this sector disappearing behind them. Lily reached for her hand. You're shaking. It is a biological response to stress, Zara explained automatically. Though, in truth, it was more than that. It was fear, excitement, and something else, something that felt like freedom. The shuttle pilot called back, We're approaching the Artemis. They want confirmation of our passenger, confirmed. Lily responded, Tell them we have a political refugee. The massive Earth-ship Artemis grew larger in the viewport, a sleek vessel designed for both diplomacy and defense. It represented safety, but also the unknown. Zara had studied human culture, but living among them would be entirely different. As they docked, Zara could see a welcome committee waiting. Captain Reyes had clearly prepared for their arrival. The shuttle door opened, and Lily led her into the Earth ship. Welcome to the Artemis, said a human officer. Their expression was curious but not hostile. Thank you, Zara replied, unsure of proper protocol. Her Stellari training had covered diplomatic meetings but not defection. Lily sensed her discomfort. This is Commander Nina Peters. She handles our diplomatic relations. She will help process your asylum request. The commander smiled warmly. Well, get you settled first. Your quarters are prepared, and the captain wants to speak with you after you've had time to adjust. As they walked through the human ship, Zara noticed the differences. From Stellari vessels, humans seemed to prioritize comfort over efficiency. Their corridors were wider, their lighting warmer, and everywhere there were personal touches, artwork, plants, and color. These are your quarters, Lily said, stopping at a door. The space is modest, but I arranged to have the climate adjusted to Stellari preferences. The room was indeed small by Stellari standards, but thoughtfully arranged. A large viewport showed the stars, a desk contained a computer terminal, and the bed, though strange in design, looked comfortable. Will you be staying nearby? Zara asked suddenly, worried about being separated from Lily, just down the corridor. Lily smiled. The science team works closely together. Commander Peters cleared her throat. He'll leave you two to get settled. The captain will expect you both at 1800 hours. When they were alone, Zara moved to the viewport, staring out at the stars. I have never defied my people before, she said softly. This feeling for you, it overwhelms everything. I was taught to value logic, duty, protocol. None of it matters compared to what I feel when I'm with you. Lily joined her at the window. You know the Stellari will demand your return. I know, Zara acknowledged. They will claim I am mentally compromised, that these feelings represent a biological regression. Lily took her hand. Is that what you believe? Zara considered the question. No. What I feel may be unexpected, but it isn't wrong. It feels like evolution, not regression, as if I am becoming more, not less. The human smiled. I believe you, and Earth will protect you. The Artemis is heading back to Earth now. By the time the Stellari file formal complaints, we will be in Earth, space. Zara squeezed Lily's hand, gently, careful of her strength. What happens? Now Lily said you get to discover who you are beyond Stellari expectations. And we see where this connection between us leads. Zara felt something new blossoming within her. It wasn't just attraction anymore. It was hope. The meeting location was neutral ground, a small space station orbiting Earth's moon. Despite objections from Lily and Earth officials, Zara had insisted on meeting the Stellari delegation alone. Her research was complete, backed up, and distributed to trusted humans. The truth about Stellari genetic manipulation would survive regardless of what happened to her. Zara wore formal Stellari robes for the first time since her defection. The familiar weight felt strange now after months in human clothing. She had changed in so many ways, both subtle and profound. The Stellari would see it immediately in her skin patterns, her posture, even her scent. The airlock cycled open, revealing Ambassador Krell and Vela. The senior geneticist carried a medical case. Her expression was cold, clinical as she studied Zara. "You came alone," Ambassador Krell noted. "A wise decision. I came to end this conflict." Zara replied, "My research is published. My findings cannot be suppressed." Vela placed the medical case on a table. "Your research is flawed, contaminated by human emotions. Your conclusions lack scientific rigor." Zara felt anger rise within her, but controlled it, using techniques Lily had taught her. Human emotional management, not Stellari suppression. The difference was crucial. "My findings have been verified by multiple independent researchers," she said. "My data is sound." Vela opened the case, revealing medical equipment. "We can help you, Zara. The neural recalibration is painless. You will return to your natural Stellari state." "Natural?" Zara echoed. "There is nothing natural about what the Stellari have done to themselves. For generations, our people have used genetic manipulation to remove what they considered primitive emotions. But in doing so, they removed our capacity for growth, for connection, for true evolution." Ambassador Krell moved closer. "You speak of evolution, yet you have chosen regression, attachment to a single human. The biochemical responses you experience are temporary." Primitive Zara stood tall, using her full height advantage. "I have experienced more growth in these months than in all my previous years. I have felt connection, joy, even fear. These are not weaknesses. They are strengths. The Stellari claim superiority through emotional control, but we have sacrificed the very things that drive innovation and discovery." Vela dismissed her words with a gesture. "Your brain chemistry is altered. Your hormonal levels are chaotic. These are not signs of evolution." "No," Zara agreed. "They are signs of nature reasserting itself against artificial constraints. I have the genetic evidence." Her research device projected data into the space between them. Complex genetic models showing Stellari DNA before and after manipulation. "The Stellari Council has been altering our genetic structure for 17 generations," she explained. "Each modification designed to suppress emotional responses, initially to reduce aggression and violence. But the process continued, removing passion, creativity. Even Love." Vela studied the data, her scientific training overriding her prejudice. "These markers," she noted, pointing to specific genetic sequences, "they show evidence of artificial selection." "Yes," Zara said. "The Stellari were not evolving naturally. We were being engineered." Ambassador Krell looked uncomfortable. "This information is classified," he said. "How did you access these historical genetic profiles?" "I didn't," Zara explained. "My own DNA provided the evidence. When I began experiencing emotional responses to Lily, my body began expressing dormant genes that had been suppressed for generations." She projected more data. "My current DNA shows activated sequences that were previously dormant. Not regression, but reactivation of natural Stellari traits." Vela moved closer to the projection, her scientific curiosity overwhelming her diplomatic mission. "This should not be possible. The suppression was designed to be permanent." "Nothing in genetics is truly permanent," Zara said. "The right trigger can reactivate dormant genes. For me, that trigger was Lily." Ambassador Krell looked disturbed. "These findings, if verified, would challenge the foundation of Stellari society." "They already have," Zara said. "I sent my research to the Science Ministry before coming here. Many young scientists will question the path our species has taken." The ambassador's skin patterns showed alarm. "You had no right." "I had every right," Zara countered. "This isn't about one relationship between a Stellari and a human. This is about the future of our species." We face stagnation while claiming advancement. Vela closed the medical case slowly. Your arguments have merit. From a purely scientific perspective, the data suggests an artificial constraint on natural stellary development. Ambassador. Krell turned to her. You cannot be considering these findings. I am a scientist before a diplomat, Vela said. And the evidence is compelling. The reactivation of dormant genes is not regression. It may represent our species' true evolutionary path. Zara felt hope rise within her. Will you take my research back to Stellaris? Let it be properly reviewed. Vela nodded. The Science Ministry must examine these findings. The implications are too significant to ignore. And what of geneticist Zara? Ambassador? Krell asked. The Council demands her return. I will not return, Zara said firmly. Not to be recalibrated. My mind is my own. Vela studied her for a long moment. Your condition provides valuable research data. Your continued observation would benefit our understanding. Ambassador Krell seemed to understand what Vela was suggesting. You propose we allow her to remain on Earth. For scientific purposes, it would be the logical approach. Vela confirmed. We would require regular genetic samples and neural scans. Zara knew this was as close to acceptance as she would get from the Stellari. I would agree to contribute to ongoing research provided I remain free to continue my work and my relationship with Lily. The ambassador's skin patterns showed resignation. The Council will not be pleased, but the scientific value may outweigh diplomatic concerns as they finalize the agreement. Zara felt a weight lifting from her shoulders. She would not need to choose between her people and her love for Lily. She could represent a bridge between species. A living example of what was possible when artificial constraints were removed. The return to Earth was quieter than her departure. Lily waited at the landing pad, her face showing both hope and fear. When Zara emerged, Lily ran to her, their reunion witnessed by both human and Stellari observers. What happened? Lily asked as they embraced. They have accepted my research, Zara explained. They will study it on Stellaris, while I remain here as a scientific liaison and... Yes, she added, seeing Lily's unasked question. We can continue our life together. Director Chen approached them. The Stellari delegation has proposed a joint research initiative with you as lead scientist. They seem quite interested in your ongoing physiological changes. Zara nodded. It is a compromise. Both species save face while advancing scientific knowledge as the humans discuss diplomatic details. Zara looked to the sky, thinking of Stellaris, her homeworld. She might never return there, not as she was now. But perhaps someday her research would change Stellari society enough that others like her could emerge. Others who might choose connection over isolation, emotion over suppression. Lily took her hand, sensing her thoughts. You miss your home. Zara considered this home was a complex concept, one she'd been redefining since meeting Lily. I miss what it could be, she admitted, not what it was. Later that evening, they stood on the balcony of their Colorado residence watching stars appear. The same stars visible from Stellaris, though from a different angle. The universe was vast, but connections could bridge even interstellar distances. I never imagined this outcome. When I first saw you at that diplomatic reception, Zara said, the odds against our meeting, against my dormant genes activating, against Earth granting asylum. They were astronomical. Lily smiled, leaning against her. Maybe the universe wanted us to find each other. Such sentiment would have once seemed illogical to Zara. Now she found beauty in the thought, I have learned that some connections defy probability. She said, some feelings transcend evolutionary paths and cultural differences. She looked down at Lily, feeling that now familiar warmth spread through her, body no longer alarming but welcome. That first moment of attraction had led to so much more. A new understanding of herself, of her species, and of what was possible. When artificial constraints were removed, Lily stood on tiptoe, kissing her gently. I like this evolved version of you. Zara smiled, a gesture she had learned from humans. I am not evolved. I am simply becoming who I was always meant to be, and I have you to thank for showing me the way. Above them, the stars continued their ancient patterns, unchanged by the small dramas playing out beneath them. But on Earth and soon on Stellaris, change had begun. A single connection between different species had challenged centuries of artificial evolution, proving that even the most carefully engineered path could be altered by something as simple and as powerful as love. Earth was nothing like Zara had imagined. Despite extensive research, the reality of the human homeworld overwhelmed her senses. The colors, the sounds, the sheer variety of life forms and landscapes left her in a constant state of sensory overload. 3 months had passed since her defection. The diplomatic fallout had been significant. The Stellari Council had formally demanded her return, claiming she had stolen genetic research and was mentally unstable. Earth had refused citing humanitarian concerns. Zara now lived in a research facility in a region humans called Colorado. The mountains reminded her somewhat of the Stellari Highlands, though the air was thinner and the sky a different shade of blue. She worked with a team of xenobiologists sharing her knowledge while learning about human genetics. And there was Lily. Always Lily. They had grown closer each day. Lily patiently explaining human customs, guiding Zara through the complexities of Earth society. Their relationship had evolved into something. Neither species had terminology for it, transcended simple attraction, becoming a bond that defied categorization. Today they sat on a balcony overlooking pine forests. Zara still marveled at the abundance of plant life on Earth. So different from the carefully controlled environments of Stellari worlds. Lily handed her a cup of tea, a human beverage Zara had grown to enjoy. The science team is presenting our findings to the Global Council tomorrow. Are you nervous? Zara sipped the warm liquid. I am uncertain. Nervous implies fear. I do not fear the presentation, but I am concerned about the political implications. 3 months on Earth had changed Zara's speech patterns. She had adopted human expressions, even as she maintained her Stellari precision. The blending of their communication styles mirrored the blending of their lives. I received another message from Ambassador Krell. Zara continued. He implies that the Council is growing impatient. Their demands for my return have escalated. Lily frowned. Earth won't send you back. Not after what we've learned about Stellari suppression techniques. Their research had revealed disturbing aspects of Stellari society. While advanced in many ways, the species had developed methods to eliminate emotional responses deemed primitive. These included not just aggression but love, passion, and deep personal attachment. The very feelings Zara now experienced daily. The wind shifted, bringing the scent of pine trees. Zara closed her eyes, enjoying the sensation. The Stellari believe they have evolved beyond emotion, but I now understand they have merely suppressed a vital part of themselves. Lily reached for her hand, her 5 fingers intertwining with Zara's. 7. The gesture had become natural between them. What will you tell the Council the truth? Zara said. My research suggests that the Stellari approach to emotional suppression has limited our evolution, not enhanced it. By denying these experiences, we have created a stagnant society. Their conversation was interrupted by a security alert on Lily's communication device. She checked it, her expression growing serious. What's wrong? Zara asked, noting the change in Lily's body language. Stellari diplomatic vessel has entered Earth orbit, Lily said. They claim to be here for negotiations, but they are here for me. Zara finished. The realization was not surprising. She had expected this. Eventually, the Stellari would come themselves, not relying on Earth officials to return. Her Lily stood. We should go. Inside, the facility has security protocols. Zara remained seated, considering her options. I could return with them. No, Lily said sharply. You know what they would do. They would subject you to neural recalibration. You would lose everything that makes you who you are now, including my feelings for you. Zara acknowledged. Lily knelt before her. We have options. The research is too valuable for Earth to give you up. The Global Council will protect you. Zara touched Lily's face, tracing the contours she had come to know so well. I do not wish to be the cause of conflict between our species. Before Lily could respond, a security officer appeared at the balcony door. Dr. Morgan, the director needs you both immediately. The Stellari delegation has requested a meeting specifically with geneticist Zara. The research facility conference room had been prepared for high-level diplomatic discussions. Earth security personnel lined the walls, while representatives from the Global Council sat at one end of the table. The Stellari delegation entered, led by Ambassador Krell. His skin had darkened with age and status since Zara had last seen him. Behind him walked Vela, the senior geneticist who had ordered Zara's return to Stellaris. 3 other Stellari followed, their expressions neutral, their skin patterns revealing nothing to human observers but speaking volumes to Zara. They were disgusted by her presence. Geneticist. Zara, Ambassador Krell said, his voice formal. The Council requests your immediate return to Stellaris. Director Chen of the Earth facility stepped forward. This is not a repatriation meeting. Ambassador Geneticist Zara has been granted asylum and serves as a valued scientific consultant. Krell ignored him, addressing only, Zara, your condition has been analyzed by the Science Ministry. They have developed a treatment protocol. It is not a condition, Ambassador Zara replied, keeping her voice steady. It is an awakening, Vela. Spoke her voice cold. You speak like a human now. Your language patterns show contamination. Your biological readings are chaotic. You are ill. Zara. I am changed. Not ill. Zara countered. My research here proves that Stellari emotional suppression is not evolution, but artificial constraint. We have limited our own potential. The ambassador turned to the Earth officials. Your scientist has been compromised. Her judgment is impaired by biochemical imbalance. We have medical evidence. Lily stepped forward. Her research stands on its own merit. Her findings have been verified by multiple Earth scientists. The ambassador looked at Lily with clear disdain. You are the cause of this regression. You have contaminated a superior mind with primitive emotional responses. Director Chen interrupted. This meeting will remain professional. Ambassador, the Earth Global Council has reviewed the Stellari demand and rejected it. Geneticist Zara remains under Earth protection. Vela placed a data device on the table. We anticipated your response. We have prepared an alternative proposal. Director Chen activated the device. A holographic display showed technical specifications for a joint research initiative. A compromise that allows geneticist Zara to continue her work under joint Stellari and Earth supervision. Zara studied the proposal, immediately seeing the deception within it. The research facility would be located in neutral space, but under Stellari security protocols. Once there, she would have no protection. This is not acceptable, Zara said. The terms would effectively place me in Stellari custody. Ambassador Krell turned to her. You disappoint us, Zara. Your potential was limitless. Now you choose to remain in this primitive state for what? A temporary biochemical attraction to a lesser species. The insult hung in the air. Earth security tensed. Director Chen stood. We consider this meeting concluded. Ambassador, as the Stellari delegation prepared to leave, Vela approached Zara, speaking softly in their native language. The Council has authorized more direct measures if you refuse cooperation. Consider carefully the consequences of your choice, not just for yourself, but for your human. The threat was clear. Zara felt a chill run through her body. Something the old Zara would never have experienced. Fear not for herself, but for Lily. When the delegation had left, Director Chen turned to them. That went about as expected. The Global Council is convening an emergency session. Security around the facility will be increased. Lily waited until they were alone in Zara's quarters before speaking. You knew they would threaten me, didn't you? Zara nodded. The Stellari do not accept failure. They will escalate until they achieve their objective. Lily paced the room. But why? Why is one geneticist so important? Even one as brilliant as you. It is not about me. Zara explained. It is about what I represent. My defection challenges centuries of Stellari social engineering. If one can break free, others might follow. I am a threat to their entire social order. Lily stopped pacing. And your research confirms it, doesn't it? That their emotional suppression isn't evolution? Zara moved to her computer console, bringing up genetic models. My findings suggest that Stellari emotional capacity was deliberately engineered, out over generations. It wasn't natural evolution but artificial selection. What does that mean for you? Lily asked. It means I cannot return to my people, Zara said. Not until they accept the truth, and I cannot allow them to threaten you. Lily took her hands. What are you saying? Zara looked into Lily's eyes. I must confront them. Their threat is empty. If I remove you as leverage, I will meet with them alone.